Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, beautiful people. Wherever you're joining us, you are welcome and thank you so much for tuning into this channel. On this channel, it is new, but we will be talking a lot about developing Africa. Today, we're talking about Africans joining hands to develop Africa and build a prosperous Africa. That is Africans here on the continent and Africans in the diaspora coming together, joining hands, building something prosperous and substantial. And when we talk about prosperity in Africa, we cannot talk about prosperity without touching on entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is at the center of prosperity. It is what gets the ball rolling. And to talk successfully about entrepreneurship, then we need to develop an entrepreneurial mindset, because an entrepreneurial mindset is different. It does not mean that anybody in business or in some business activity has got an entrepreneurial mindset, and it's not even something that you are born with. It's something that we can develop. So that being very crucial to what we'll be talking about, please, we talk about how to develop an entrepreneurial mindset in the mini ebook. Please click on the pinned comment in the comment section, and there's a link there that will take you to the mini ebook, and please do download it. And in chapter 2 specifically, we talk about how to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. And just where I am, please forgive me for the background noise. I just can't do anything about it. As the people outside, please forgive me for that. Yeah, but that being said, now get your book, a copy of your book, to know how to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. And people in Africa are involved in entrepreneurship or some form of business activities. In fact, women in Africa are known to be more entrepreneurially inclined than their counterparts in any part of the world, anywhere else. Women in Africa, in their numbers, they are more involved in entrepreneurship than women elsewhere. But then the obvious question you will ask is, if that is the question, why do we see so little evidence of progress when women are involved in entrepreneurship? The problem in Africa is that the women have shown inclination, entrepreneurial inclination and determination and motivation. The problem is lack of capital in Africa. It is one of the impediments. So they are involved in business activities, but they are very, very micro, because it doesn't take a lot to start those kind of businesses. But at the same time, because it doesn't take a lot to start them, there are too many of them doing the same thing. Therefore, high competition and very little profits. Hence, we don't see a lot of progress. So this is what the NPO is really trying to address. One of the impediments is capital in Africa. There are 3 impediments, documented impediments in Africa, impediments on entrepreneurship. It is lack of capital. The second one is lack of or insufficient entrepreneurial skill. We will address that in another video. And the third one is lack of access to markets of the goods. Today we will talk about lack of capital in Africa, which is one of the impediments, and NPO is trying to address that. And how are we trying to address that? We are trying to address that. We have a specific program, specific strategy that we are trying to use to address that, because we know that in spite of all the entrepreneurial activity, there is a high level of poverty on the continent, which is very heartbreaking. And it is documented that it will need billions and billions of dollars to eradicate poverty. There is not one institution or a number of institutions that will be able to do that. It will take a long time for these institutions to do that. We cannot sit back, do nothing, and wait for institutions to solve our problems. We do have something, we do have a role to play. So our NPO, what we need to do is to realize that though it will take a lot of money, a lot of that money is in the hands of many small individual investors, not one big enterprise, but many small individual probable possible investors. And this is where we come in. What we want to do, we want to foster, we want to broker legal partnerships between local Africans and the diaspora. The diaspora investing in businesses in partnership with these people. And what we want to do, these partnerships will be legally drawn. They will protect the interests of all parties involved. They will be beneficial, mutually beneficial to both the diaspora investing and the local person here coming together. The local people, because they are here, they know the problems and they can tell what needs to be done. They come up with a business idea and they draw up a business plan for that idea. And then we broker a partnership with an investor from abroad. Because to be quite honest, we need people to come in, but emigration is not for everyone. And emigration is not an easy decision to make. It is a family decision. There are a number of factors that you take into consideration, and everybody in the family needs to be in on the decision. It's not a decision that you can take in a year, in a month, or sometimes it can take up to a year, 2-3 years before you come to that decision. But yes, we are ready to emigrate, and we will emigrate to this part of the continent because of this reason and that reason. And you shall have done your research. But in the meantime, we would say that it is best we realize that emigration is not for everyone. You may not emigrate, but you may still have business interests here. And when at a time when you and your family, you're ready to emigrate, it is also best to know that you are emigrating to a part of the continent where you already have established some form of security for yourself and your family. You're not just coming and starting anew in a new environment when you don't know anybody or much about it. So that is where we come in as our NPO, Africa Accelerated Economic Development, where we foster and we broker these relationships, these partnerships between people that are fair to everybody and protect the interests of everybody. And it's good also for the diaspora to invest in Africa, because by doing that, you are diversifying your investment in terms of the industry, probably the industry and the location where your investment will be located. You are diversifying your investment, and it's always a good strategy to diversify all our investments. And in addition to that, things are happening in front of our eyes. We are seeing what is a global shift of global power, centers of power. It is shifting. We're reading of Saudi Arabia and China making deals, and they are saying that they will make those deals in their own local currencies, no longer in the dollar. We're reading of BRICS that is now rising, and many countries are wanting to join BRICS, and many countries are aligning themselves with BRICS and with China. And even in the NATO, there are countries like Germany, a powerful economy in Europe, that is openly recorded to be aligning itself with China. And also with BRICS coming up with their own currency, own common currency, that definitely means the weakening of other currencies that were previously powerful. So it is good and it is beneficial for anybody to diversify their investments in that centers of power are changing. And if I'm from the rand zone, so please allow me to make this example. If you are in partnership with a local person here, and at the end of the year, the profit that you walk away with from the partnership, your business partnership, is say 600,000 rands. I'm from the rand zone, please. I can conceptualize it better. It makes better sense to me. It's 600,000 rands. If you convert it at the current conversion rate of 19 rands to $1, that will give you 31,500 US dollars. But if the value of the dollar goes down because of what is going on around the world, and say it goes down to 15, your 600,000 rands, if you want to take it back home to America or where you use the dollar, it will be $40,000, no longer 31,000. So in that sense, you gain. But on the other hand, if the dollar goes down, then the initial amount that you will invest in the business partnership here, it means that you will invest a little bit more. It always goes two ways. It benefits, whether it benefits or does not benefit you when you import and export. But what is really happening in front of our eyes is that global power centers of powers are shifting. So it is good to position yourself for that and to diversify your investment and to build security in other geographic locations so that your money is not in one area, to have that form of security. And I want to say that there are opportunities in Africa. The fact that it is documented that sub-Saharan economies are under-industrialized, that in itself speaks of opportunities. And how do we know that? 60% of farm produce in Africa is recorded to go to waste. Farmers are losing their money, because there's not enough processing capacity, not enough cold storage, not enough drying facilities. We need to invest to invest in increasing capacity. And always, all industrialization always begins with agro-processing, food and beverages. And I watch a lot of videos because I want to go into Africa to help what I can do to help develop our African economies. And I'm aware that I'm not the only one. There are many of us trying to do that. But I was watching one video. This guy was saying, he was in another country making a video, and he was saying, what I like about this country is that everything they consume is made locally. So it means that where he comes from, it's not everything that they consume that is made locally. And do you realize that by not having enough processing facility to make our own food, we are strengthening somebody else's economy because they are producing food for us and we are importing from them. They are strengthening their economy. They are creating wealth. They are creating jobs for their people. Something that we should be doing. We should be creating producing what we eat, creating wealth, creating jobs, because in the end, when we talk of eradicating poverty in Africa, it goes back to the creation of jobs. So there are vast opportunities. And how do I know that there are vast opportunities? Apart from the fact that we are under-industrialized, which is an obvious fact, apart from the fact that 60% of farm produce goes to waste, which is an obvious fact, that there are opportunities. Let me give this example that the richest black person, he made his money in Africa. And you know what he was making? He was processing sugar. When we wake up in the morning, we all make a cup of tea or coffee and we add sugar in it. He's processing sugar. He's also processing salt. Throughout the day, we will cook our 2 or 3 meals and we add salt to it. He's processing sugar, he's processing salt, and of course he's making cement. And now he's diversifying into other areas because now he is possible to go there. So what I'm saying is there are opportunities. You may start small and you may scale later on. But even so, scaling is like emigration. Scaling is not for everyone. You may make money and be happy with what you make. I was watching one video, one African American guy emigrated and came to Ghana, and he found that there's a lot of cashew nuts in circulation. He started taking them, roasting them, adding different flavors, and he's supplying, he says, up to 30 stores in the Accra region. And he says in that vision that he's making millions. There are opportunities. Another example I will make, there's a lady I was reading about in South Africa. She is making acha. Acha is a food condiment. You add it to your food and it gives you more taste. And the main ingredient is unripe mangoes. She is selling that in South Africa, exporting to Botswana and exporting to India. Only 3 countries she's selling to. She is a millionaire in rent terms. Yes, she is a millionaire, and there's a lot that you can do with 1 million in South Africa. So I really want you to get it, that there are opportunities. People are making millions, so it would make good investment sense to invest in partnership with a local person, to invest in a local partnership and have a business on the continent, and that will make you a lot of money. People are making money. I've given these 3 examples, and in some of the videos in the future, we'll be talking to more people that are making money on the continent. There are opportunities on the continent, my African diaspora. Please, we will be fostering it, we will be brokering these relationships, and they will benefit you. And from our standpoint, we want everybody involved in that partnership to walk away with a profit, to benefit everybody, not just one part taking advantage of the other. We've been taken advantage of in the past, but we really don't expect our African diaspora to do the same and take advantage of the people, but to be self-empowering, empowering one another, and being in partnership together, and together building a more prosperous Africa. And we can build a more prosperous Africa. We can solve our problems, but we cannot talk about everything in one video. We will be talking about a lot. There's a lot to talk about, and in the coming videos we'll be talking about many other things. And to get access to that, to be notified, please subscribe to this channel, so that whenever a new video comes, you are the first one to be notified and to know. And we will be dropping a new video every week. And if you like this video, please click like, and please share it with the other people. And my wonderful African people, I love you all. Thank you. Bye.